Alright, this is part 2 of part 1, road test. Objects. The locomotive road test is to determine the amount of steam and the fuel consumed in hauling the known tonnage over the known distance given the run. In other words, determine the amount of steam and the fuel consumed and the unit power utilized, unit per unit power utilized hauling of the train. Apparatus and instruments. The apparatus and instruments required for the locomotive road test are used as follows: two or more steam cylinder indicators, the number of sacks holding 100 pounds of coal ash, platform scale, float gauge, glasses, other suitable apparatus for the measurement height of water in the tender tank. Water meters amount measures the amount of water delivered to the injectors. Graduated scale from the cab gauge to glasses. Two pyrometers, four draft heaters, three or more thermometers, 10 steam calorimeter, 11 thermometer or more stroke counters, 3 or more stroke counters, reducing motion suitable for operation of indicators, 13 speed indicator registers speed of the train, 14 traction dynometer and preferably a dynometer car is complete equipment to be used with the primary to record the drawbar. Pull through the run. 16 electrical connection with the auxiliary signaling apparatus, which will serve the means of the communication between the dynamometer car and the observing it all at the indications. The 116 apparatus taking samples of centers and refuses in such a date is required. 17 apparatus sampling the flue gas. 18 suitable apparatus weighing the ash and refuse. 19 steam pressure gauge register for the boiler pressure. 20 auxiliary apparatus with computation results such as planometer, micrometer scales, slide rules, computing and adding machines, other such instruments as may as necessary to be desirable. 21 apparatus of analyzing the flue gas. Preparations to be made in the shop previously to the run, and preparation of the locomotive. Line up the frame with the cylinders. Satisfactory steam fit should be obtained between the barrel of the cylinder and the piston. Packing rings should be renewed. Cylinders rebored, and such other works done as to be necessary. Put the cylinder into condition desired. Valve seats should be refaced, bushings bored, new packing applied. Such other works that are done as necessary to put the valves in good condition. Cylinders, cocks, pistons, valve stem, packings, relief valves, etc. should be put in such a condition as to minimize leakage at these points. The cylinder and valves should be tested. The leakage of the dry pipe and all the steam joints of the locomotive should be tested for leakage. Boiler tubes free of the scale and sediment should be installed unless it is desired to obtain the data of the evaporated performance of the tubes of the scale. Check over the front end of the arrangement to see if the degrees with the arrangement determined in the upon line of the sack with exhaust valve nozzle. Application of the testing apparatus. Filled pilot box to built around with the cylinders at the front end of the adequate protection with the testing squad and to be such the design as will facilitate the work. Indicators and indicator ringing to be attached in the complete equipment of the valve, such as the indicators and connected with each of the two cylinders at which the steam exhausts. Apparatus measuring the height of the water in the tender tank to be installed. Water meters installing at the injector pipe with a view of making the easily readable possible roll running. Speedometer installed in the cab. Apparatus sampling refuses to attach if requires. Calorimeter to attach the steam dome thermometer to be installed with the calorimeter and to receive the branching pipe with exhaust if required. Pyrometers to be installed with a view to making the readings in the respective temperatures representative as possible, and so with the view of making the instruments as easy to read as possible. The reverse lever notches should be numbered in such a way that to make them easily readable for the purpose of keeping a record for the position of reverse levered device of the automatically registering the reverse lever position should be installed. Stroke counters should be attached in ways that record the number of the revolution of the drivers and strokes made by each of the air pump. The apparatus sampling of the flue gas should be installed to collect the representative sample of the gas. Determination to be made immediately previous to the run. The tender of the tank to be calibrated. Determination of the amount of steam consumed by the air pump. The all instrument to be calibrated to requirement appendix 5. The actual coal to be used in the sample required for the appendix 8 and 10. The coal from which the sample has been taken to be weighed in a sack of 100 pounds each. Sufficient amount will cover the entire of the run. In case it is decided not to use the sack or the coal and to be tendered, should be divided into partitions into portions of weight coal, which will be sufficient to cover the run, and into the portion of the unweighted coal which is to be used during the stops and etc. Data regarding the condition of the run shall be obtained or listed under the record of the test. Starting and stopping the engine operation condition. The running condition should generally be maintained as uniform as possible with respect to speed, pressure, firing, water level of the boiler, etc. And the particular purpose of the test and traffic conditions will be necessity to determine a large extent of the running condition. The duration of the test and length of the run of the duration of the test will generally determine the traffic conditions and the length of the section of the division running over or run about 100 miles may be considered a standard average length of the run. Maintenance of the running conditions before start is made. The fire should be brought to a uniform state of the maximum efficiency. The start is made. The wave of the coal should be fired. When the start is made for the first reading of all the instruments should be made. If the stop made during the testing time at the beginning with the end of the stop, such stop should be recorded. All coal and water during each of the stops should be determined in such a way to use the performance locomotive during the stops and may be excluded for the test power of the may serve the purpose of which the test is made. The general observation should be continued during the stop, and suitable allowances corrections may be made of the changes in conditions in the fire and pressure in the boiler, the water level in the boiler, and the steam used by the air pumps, and the calorimeter and the pop-up valves, etc. Alright, record of the test. The headings of the log sheet shown on the Appendix 16 will serve as a guide for the keeping of the records of the locomotive road test. A, to be observed from the locomotive log of the fuels consumption, log of the water consumption, cab log, pressure gauge, glass readings, position of the reverse lever at all times, position of the throttle and time, pop valve, open, calorimeter readings, etc. Records indicating at work the time taking each for the car with the registered thereupon. Record all the draft gauge with the readings. Record all the time taken to see each of the sample of flue gas and each of the samples of the stack refuse and last date required. B, to be observed in the dynamometer car. Time of stop and start, time passing milepost stations, curves, grades, etc. In case of the dynamometer car is not used for the engine cab in space upon a car following the engine should be used as possible for collecting the data ending of the keeping of the logs. Record of the drawbar, pull end of the other recording table data if the last available. Record the indicator cards were taken. Record the data regarding train, a condition of the run, such as initial number of the cars, position of the train, and each of the car, weight of each of the car, kind of the car loaded with emptied, light and loaded weight, all changed with above and during the run, total length of the train, kind of weather, direction of the velocity of the wind. Some other data may be particular interest and necessity indicates the unusual special conditions. Alright, data and results. Listed data results are given with the laboratory test will serve as the listing and tabulation such as the data result of the necessary interest road test. The following list may be considered essential in the preparation of completion. 793 date of test, 794 average number of the cars pushed or pulled, 795 gross ton excluding the locomotive, 796 number of 100 gross ton miles, 797 number of 100 adjacent ton miles, 798 number of stopes, 799 distance in miles, 800 time a trip. 801 time running hours, 802 time throttle opening hours, 803 average speed running throttle open miles per hour, 360 boiler pressure in 1 pounds per square inch, 384 high pressure steam chest pressure square inch, 385 low pressure steam chest pressure square inch, 395 draft front diaphragm in water, 395 draft back of the diaphragm in water, 373 temperature in feed water degree in Fahrenheit, 368 temperature air degree in Fahrenheit, 409 degrees superheat of the branch pipe degrees in Fahrenheit, 410 degrees of superheated receive the degrees of the Fahrenheit, 411 degrees of superheated exhaust degree Fahrenheit, 804 coals in how fired, 418 coal in total of fires in pound, 627 dry coal per hours from fired pounds, 627 dry coal fired by per pounds and per square inch for the graded area, 805 water total of the tender pounds, 806 total of water evaporated in pounds, 638 loss of calorimeters, safety valves, air pumps, etc. per hours in pounds. 637 water evaporated per pound, fuels fired, 645 equivalent evaporation and the 212 degrees per hour pound, 648 equivalent evaporation from the 212 degrees per hour per square feet of total heating surface, and 657 equivalent evaporation at 212 Fahrenheit per hour per pound coal as required, air is fired. 660 boiler HP horsepower. 666 efficiency of boiler based on fuel percent. 639 dry steam the engine pounds per hour. 723 and 723 IHP high pressure cylinders. 724 and 725 IHP low pressure cylinders. 328 low total IHP, 734 dry coal per IHP hour, 736 dry steam per IHP hour, 487 average draw per pound per 1 pound or per drawbar pounds, dynamic drawbar horsepower, 744 dry coal bar DHP power, dry steam per DHP hour, 807 coal is fired with 100 gross tons per mile. Pounds. 808 coals fired with 100 ton miles pounds. 809 water per 100 ton miles pounds. 810 coal is fired with a per car miles pounds. 811 water per car pounds. 817 dry car per 100 gross ton pounds and pounds. 18 dry coal 1 per 100 ton miles pounds. 820 dry coal per car mile pounds. Part 2 Appendixes.